Welcome back to Richard's Rod and Classics. Today we're starting a new build for a guy. This is a customer car, and I'm absolutely in love with it. I would love to have it. Like, seriously, I'm in love with it. It is cool beyond cool. But, let's get started. It's just an LS swap, but I got some other things to do. I'll flip you around here. We'll take a look at it. This is a 1955 Pontiac Safari. I don't know what motor's in it. It's Pontiac motors, all original. But it does need a bit of motor work and firewall work and stuff like that. But I'm putting an LS in this. We are painting up the firewall. I'll probably have to do some welding on it for sure. I have to hook up the brakes. I have to remove everything in here that we don't need, i.e. voltage regulators and junk like that, smog. I don't know if that, I think that's smog, I'm pretty sure. It's garbage is what it is. Actually, that is a power steering reservoir, so it's still coming off anyway, because we do not need it. Is that a power steering? I don't know what it is. It's right here. You know what, that might have been some sort of AC setup. Or brake vacuum. I don't know, but it don't need to be there. We don't need it anymore. They had bought this car with intentions to do an LS swap, of course, and they started working on things like brakes and stuff. They already cut the exhaust, but yeah, this is an aftermarket master cylinder. They already ran some brake lines, which are going to have to be fixed up a little. I have to make sure not to cut and throw away any kind of brake line, or not brake line, but headlight hardware or headlight wiring. I gotta make sure all that stuff stays good. I'm going to try to convince him to let me sort of, fix the firewall through here where the new brakes are. I don't know if this even has a brake pedal on it at this point. It does not. It has nothing. So I'm going to have to figure out the brake pedal. I'll have to get that set up right. The car itself is wicked solid. It is seriously nice. I want it so bad. But yeah, this thing is uber cool. It is, in my opinion, I think it's awesome. More like stylish and sweet than like a Nomad or anything like that. So this actually has counterweighted cables. All the interior's in really good shape. In fact, my cousin actually named it the other day when he was up here. He said, when he was inside sitting and checking all this crazy awesome dash out, he goes, "Look at these door panels, man. Looks like Buddy Holly's shoes." Project Buddy Holly. But check out this dash, man. Look at these gauges. I mean, sick. The other gauge is actually down there hanging, but he has it all. So, it says Star Chief on the dash, but it's a Safari. The back seat flips forward, and then the back of the back seat lays down. This thing is cool. Beyond cool. This is the original gas tank. We will be trying to use it. Hopefully it works. I believe it goes in... I don't know how it goes in, because it don't look right either way. But it's got the old school fuel mech, which we can actually use and actually run just a fuel pump in it. Or, can we get a fuel pump in there? We might be able to get a fuel pump in there, like the 66 C10 I built. We barely made it fit, but it fit. We might be able to work on this one the same way. But this car is super cool. I cannot wait to get started on it. They did a disc brake upgrade in the front. That's why they went to the new master cylinder. All of this he is keeping. So he says, I'm going to talk to him because I actually know another guy who has a Safari who wants the motor and trans and stuff out here. Which, if I had to guess, it's probably a 2-speed power glide. It sure looks like a 2-speed power glide. I've seen a manual, right? This might be a manual car. They already pulled the pedals out of it, so I don't know. I can't really tell. Yeah, stuff I got to figure out is like shift linkage and everything like that, because it's a whole different setup on here. But luckily, it's just a rod. So, yeah, it's just a rod. I'd say this was an automatic car. It's a good thing. That helps. He does have the hood, but it don't matter to me. I don't need the hood really. So, sand paint the firewall, sand paint the inner fenders, core, all that's getting painted. I'm going to paint the firewall the same color as the car, keeping the core and everything black, because that's the way I like it. This door over here has none of the hardware, chrome, or nothing in it, but is a really good door, so it's fine. We ain't got to worry about it. It has been lowered 3 inches in the front and rear. Not by me, but they lowered it themselves. And I always thought this was real wicked cool. I found this the other night. Check it out. 100% Americana. Red, white, and blue little filled in marker pieces there. Love it. So, anyway, today the main goal is going to be to pull this motor and trans, get it out of there, probably push this thing outside, oven clean it, wash it, get it all good and degreased so I can start pulling everything apart. But if you are interested in this content, please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. You can also check out the TikTok, Richard's Rod and Classics. And we're going to hammer down on this, and we'll put you guys on time lapse so that way we can just start pulling things apart. This is nothing major. The only things I got to keep an eye on are my starter wire, my temperature wire, the oil pressure don't matter. Actually, none of the gauges matter because it's probably getting a Holly set up, which is funny because I said Buddy Holly. We could probably spell it the same way as Holly Performance. So, but we got a lot of stuff to do and not a lot of time to do it. Let's get busy. So I haven't started pulling the motor yet. Looking at this gas tank I showed you guys, the original tank, and I thought to myself, man, that's a lot like that 66 C10 I built, the orange one. Sunkissed is what they ended up calling it. But check this out. I keep fuel pumps and stuff on hand of cars I took out and did LS swaps to. This is the 91 Caprice fuel pump. These are small. Now, a Caprice fuel pump will not work because it's TBI. Well, the newer ones, you might be able to use the 4.3 ones. But, or not, yeah, 4.3 and 5.7 is the LT, baby LT1 and LT1. I don't know what size their pumps are, but this is a TBI pump, okay? But check this out. So this is the mechanism for this, which is about the same as a C10. And I thought to myself, you know, the in-tank pumps work a lot better. This is an in-tank pump. This is a TBI though, again. This is like a 14 PSI. But what I was doing was I was checking. Does that fit in there? Yes, it does. So, again, this is TBI. But, like the 4.3 S10 over there, had an MPFI, which is multi-port fuel injected. And it's running on a factory pump. Give me 1 second here, put this back in the bag. The factory pumps are the same size in multi-port fuel injection for a 94 Blazer 4.3 Vortec MPFI, okay, multi-port fuel injection. But they sell aftermarket ones like this Kimso, whatever you want to call it, cheap eBay pump. I've run these on several things, and they don't die. I'll be honest with you, I haven't had one bad yet, and this is like $20. So check this out. It fits, okay? Easy peasy. So we might be able to run a in-tank fuel pump on this. And what we'll do is we'll order a new fuel mechanism, of course, because this is junk. And we can probably just put this one at the end here in any configuration you want. Sorry, let me turn the camera back toward you. In any configuration you want, use a like brake line quick coupler that'll go to this one and go to that one. I would suggest probably, yeah, I think they're all plastic. I was going to say suggest getting a metal one, but I don't think they have one. But with something like this that's going to run 60 PSI, you can definitely just put a quick coupler on there in tank, and you can finagle this down in through that hole, and you will have a fuel pump in tank that'll stay cool, run 60 psi, and you ain't got to worry about it. You know, you will have to do some modifications to your bracket or your fuel mechanism, of course. But what are you doing, Mechanic Cat? You're killing me right now. What? You're not getting in the car. You need to go outside. I'm busy. I'm talking to the camera and Gizmo at the same time. So you remember how we did I did the C10, the fuel pump? Yeah. Think I can do the same thing with this. And he was going to put a on frame one that they die all the time, but I think these ones will work.
I grew up in a place where they told you what to chase, told you how to run the race. Every move was on the page, but I didn't like their way. Had to fight and misbehave, had to find a way to change, had to leave to find my way. Caught up in a daydream, I beat my mind up there almost daily. It's how I pass time, no opinions safely. It's how I understand what I want in this place, see. Cause everybody wanna tell you bad things, what could go wrong, what fame brings. But success is a finicky thing, and if you ain't sure, no, it'll never be. I don't wanna let myself down, myself down. I don't wanna let myself down, myself down. I don't have to plan it, I can go change my fate. You won't understand it, all alone, that's okay. People I can't stand them, they don't want me to change. Keep me where I'm standing, and I don't wanna be where I am. And I want something more, take a chance. It could be possibly my last dance, my last dance. And I don't wanna let myself down, myself. Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. I have no regrets, yeah, I'll tie up my chest. I'll never forget what it's like to be in debt. Been stabbed in the back bed, I'll show you what happens. Pass me the mic and I'll show you with action. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you could never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got.
So we got all the wiring and everything unhooked off the top side of the motor, the fuel lines, power wires, everything like that's off the motor now. What we're going to do now is air up this tire, jack this thing up, put it on some jack stands. Got to go under it and unbolt the wiring off the starter, unhook the linkage off the transmission, and pull the drive shaft. And then we should be real close to time to pull the motor out. Alright, we have the motor mounts removed in the front, or not the motor mounts, the motor mount bolts are gone in the front. Yeah, this has a mount here, and then two mounts on the trans. Got both of them removed. Got to jack up the rear end now. and pull the drive shaft. Starter's off right there. But yeah, it's all pretty smooth. The fun's going to be when it comes time to yank her out of there. And I'm also going to, I believe, well, I thought this was a two-piece front core here, but it's not. So I can't remove that as much as I'd like to. So we're just going to have to, you know, do the old yank and flip there. But going to jack up the back now and pull the drive shaft, which is going to be fun because this thing is low to the ground. It's going to get even lower in the front. I hope he understands that, because there's not a hood on it, there's not a radiator in it, there's no fluids in it, so it's going to actually get a little bit lower, which is going to be pretty low. But yeah, there's nothing major here, just a simple motor pull.
These things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right and see life do what you want. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right and see life do what you want. So give me all the scars, I'm a human being. Cover them with tattoos so you can't see. Knew it from the start, you had problems with me and the things I could be, I just wish I had seen. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you could never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right and see life do what you want. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right and see life do what you want.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams into modestness. I'm not here to say.
Okay, so we hit a snag here. The transmission oil pan is catching the cross member through here. So what I've been fighting is the tons of undercoat on the car, on the nuts, to break them three off. Well, not break them off, but unbolt them three. Dad's doing the other 3 on that side. And then hopefully the motor should just pop right out. Hopefully.
That's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go. Make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable. Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages, a vacant modern kingdom for the taking. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
Taking shots at the enemy, I'm gonna make it to the top, leave a legacy. If I got something to say, you better let me speak. Turn it up a new degree, bitch, you ain't seen anything. I pop off with the new rock.
Well, that was a fight. And yeah, we murdered the garage floor again. It happens. It's detergent, as Freiburger says, so we'll just wash it out. I gotta pull the car out anyway and power wash the firewall and stuff, so that was not fun. I hate using them swap plates just because they don't give you the adjustability. It's you pick a hole and hope. And that's what we did. We picked the hole and we hoped. So it's out of there. I ripped the kick down / linkage off, whatever that thing is, but it's out now, so. But motor's out. That was the #1 thing I wanted to do today. And that opens up the weekend to clean, sand, paint, weld, whatever we got to do to this firewall to make it look halfway decent. Because right here's the holes they drilled for the new brake booster. And I don't like this and that and all that junk. This, he said he's just going to put some plugs in. Not worried about that. But this crap, nah, I'm going to see if he will let me weld it up and make it look pretty.
You're going to have to make a stronger plate.
Well, yeah, the plate's got to get stronger too, because where there's nothing here, it's just, you know, you press the brake and this firewall will move. So we'll have to tighten that, or strengthen all that up. All this stuff's got to get cleaned. You can see there's engine oil and ATF and everything else on it. So right there is where the other motor mount was. The other the transmission cross member, I think it's still under the car.
I laid it out over there.
Did you? It's over here. And I probably won't even be using that. Because, yeah, we're going, 4L60E. Don't need it. We'll probably just get like a universal mount setup, or even if it goes back far enough where it has the X frame, I'll just put a straight bar across out of there, out of a good piece of steel.
Make you a mount.
Yeah, make the mount for it. But we're going to clean up this murder scene, and we're pretty much done for today. We'll go enjoy the rest of the Friday. We still got to pull this thing out. I think it's a vacuum canister. I don't know what it is.
Probably this too, just to be.
Well, yeah, I'll have to pull that because I got to sand it and paint it and everything.
Right. Well, it's.
We pull all the. I can't remember what them things are called.
The relays and
whatever that thing is.
It's a freaking
voltage regulator.
Voltage regulator.
Yeah, we don't need a voltage regulator.
And here's your brake light.
I don't know. We might need that voltage regulator for the headlights. No, it don't go to it at all.
It's
so
12 volt.
Yeah, all that stuff's going in the garbage. Luckily, we didn't rip out the core. It's fine. The car did raise up, I'm going to say 2, maybe 3 inches when we pulled the motor out, because it's all cast iron. So What are you doing?
Fixing that plant.
Oh, I thought you were trying to lift the front of the car. I'm like, it ain't that light.
Fixing that plant plate where we put a little bit in it.
Yeah. But pretty simple so far. Just a lot of cleaning and stuff, and we'll get back to it soon. So now that the motor is out, it's actually the next day from when we did it. I'm going to start stripping all this junk we don't need. This junk, that junk. That's actually your neutral safety switch right here. This is your throttle pedal down here. We'll never be able to use any of that, but I'm just saying we gotta strip it down. A bit of insulation and still, you know, the bloody murder scene, but I just gotta figure out what we have to keep and what we don't. Definitely gotta keep these power steering lines for the simple fact that we don't know how we're gonna hook them up yet. These are completely different than the other ones. This all has to be power washed, of course. I'm not going to do that today, though. That'd be a later on thing. I just need to figure out what's going to go where and what needs to stay. Excuse me. Now, what's this? What crap is this? The starter wire? I don't know what that is. I gotta figure that out. We got some wires that were added recently, clearly, because they go just sticking out the firewall. Well, maybe that might just be factory how they did it. Speedo cable. We'll be getting rid of that. Don't need it. What else do we gotta do? We're gonna start grinding the firewall down and making plates to cover up a lot of this stuff that we don't need, just for the simple fact that it's going to strengthen it and make it to where his firewall don't flex like crazy when he presses the brake, because it is real thin through here. So we'll pinch this back together where it's been pried apart, grind it a little bit, weld it up a little bit. I got to reinstall the brake booster and then fit the pedal assembly, make sure it's going to work all good and fine. This harness has got to go. Is this control? Yeah, this is the whole harness for headlights and everything is in one right here. And I'm not going to chop up a bunch of this stuff. I'm just going to sort of roll it up and keep it like in this corner or something. But let's get busy. Get this stuff off here. I'm not going to waste your time and show you because it's literally just unbolting stuff. So I'll cut you back on after I get all this stuff unbolted. So I'm working on the brake situation right now. This is the pedal assembly I'm going to use because it kicks out past the steering column, because the brake pedal, this portion is directly behind the steering column. So, and that might actually even need to be moved over to the left because I need to see how far it is in comparison to the throttle pedal to the hump for the transmission, because you want to have a good, you know, when you're sitting, you want to have a good feel. You don't want to be like over here, or in some cases, we built some of these, like them rat rods, when you swap them pedals will be like way over here. You got to drive with the side of your foot, and it sucks. But it's doable. You know, you can still drive it, no big deal. But this is a little bit more special than a rat rod. This is, you know, a really nice 55 Pontiac. So what I'm going to do is first I want to make a template out of this. And I've got some of this ram board. It's basically a cardboard roll that you get for construction. And I'm going to take this to make our, you know, this setup on there to fit here. Then we'll use it to transfer our holes to this, and I'll figure out how much more of a plate I got to add for this to drill our holes. And then after I got my holes drilled, we'll test it on the car and see how it fits, as where, you know, make sure nothing hits the steering column. It's in the right position to where it feels good when you're sitting in the car. And the good thing is there's a big hole already there for the brake booster, so I can clamp it on and you can sit in the car and, you know, you can feel, you know, hey, is this how I like it? If it is, we'll move on. But that's what I'm going to do now. I'll set you guys up here and make my patterns, and we'll see how it looks afterwards.
Electronic, blow the sonic roof up. I'm too honest when I take a few shots. They're too toxic, need to take the noose off. And you cannot save me, cause I don't need saving. It's everything I've been chasing, all here for the taking. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots.
You are not as tough as
I'm back, you know that I never left. I got tracks and some music that you never guessed. I don't slack, don't lose, learn your lesson yet. When I get to choose what I do, I'm like a weapon. I'm not sharp as many, but got hard. I'm ready to change scars to envy, to win large and plenty. I like to play fast, never change back. Calling out, I'll pay back, cause I'm great at that. Oh, you cannot save me, cause I don't need saving. It's everything I've been chasing, all here for the taking. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots.
you are not as tough as
Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots, who are not as tough as me. Don't wanna test your luck with me.
So what you need to know about building anything custom is building custom cars is 50% mechanical knowledge and 50% arts and crafts. That's basically all it is. As you saw, I just made this template, which is what I was wanting. So now all I have to do is hold it up on there straight, and we're going to cut that. This is going to be cut, and we got to drill 3 more holes to put that where I need it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill these out in increments, small up to, and I'm going to finish at a 7/16. That'll give me a little bit, about an 1/8 inch wiggle room on the actual bolts on the brake booster. If you make them the exact size as them bolt, or the studs, whatever you want to call them, it'll be a complete fight to get it in there. I'm going to cut this right here. It's a bent over lip, and flatten this back out, so that way I can have something to actually bolt to. Everything else seems to be fine. I'm not real worried about this right now. It'll go in there, but this will give it a little extra room, and I'll probably have to get the carbide burr out and clean that just enough to get it in there, because I'll never be able to cut that with anything. So it's just too tight of a radius, and you know, cutoff wheels just don't want to do what you want them to do. So that's what we're going to work on real quick. Slap you on time lapse here, drill this out, fit up the booster to this again. Then once these two are fit up, I will fit this to the Firewall and see where we're at that point. But that's the goal for right now. Anyway, we're trying to get a little done today, as much as I can. You know, every day is as much as you can get done. Try to get it done. So
I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots, who are not as tough as me.
So I got this all drilled, and it started to sort of like separate because it's a couple different pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld together some of the side of this bracket here and the inside of this bracket a little bit, just to where it don't separate so much, make it a little stronger. I'll do the top part too up in here, because I just want it to be real strong. But it should be drilled and everything should be good. I cut this and flattened it out like I said I was going to. So yeah, I just want to weld it up now and get it halfway decently strong again, because it was a little flimsy.
Hey man, how the hell you doing? I've been just fine, living life with the noose, and in my mind, all I hear is music. Watching your mouth move, damn you look stupid. I feel like everyone's a stranger. Small talk with your narcissistic neighbor. She's real hot, but they said to never date her. I agree, but you did and I hate her. You wanna get away? You better get in line. Won't go another day of wasting that.
So we're gonna let that cool down now. I got it all welded where I wanted it. Strengthened it up a lot. But let it cool. Come back out here and start test fitting it. Hopefully it fits on the booster right. If it's all good on the booster, then we'll put it under the steering column and start working on test fitting all that together. So I have all the holes drilled. It fits, except for, of course, this, where the brake booster seal, bellows, whatever you want to call that thing is. It's a seal, basically, a firewall seal. Is, and it's catching, and it's kind of catching the metal in it. So I'm going to use a single cut carbide now for steel and carbide that thing out. I don't have anything else that'll cut as quick, so that's the only option, and that thing's about wore out. So that's the step we're on right now. Just a lot of sitting and grinding. I'll cut you guys back on after I get it all carbide burred out. We got this thing fit up really nice now, and the actual booster bracket here looks like it fits about good, but what I'm worried about is the swing on it. Whereas when you pull in, it's going to swing like this. Let me show you here. So this thing fits. I can sort of push it up and make it go in the hole, but I'm worried about when I activate the brake pedal that it's going to swing this point here too far upward and put this into a bind. But we'll worry about that later. If anything, I could probably drill a new hole lower to where the arm's pretty much straight right now. I could probably drill it out that way. I don't know if that really is going to be that big of a difference. But we got it fitting now, which is the #1 problem. Now we got to fit the actual assembly to the car and see how it feels. Which shouldn't be too bad. I just got to get it in there, clamp it with some clamps, and see how it feels when you sit in the car. But this part's done. That part's next. Well, in the deep dark reaches of this interior, what the crap is that? Is it cable or something? I don't know. But you can see where the original brake booster was, I believe. There's the original throttle rod hole. Took the throttle pedal off the floor. And up here in this lovely nightmare is where I have to shove this big old bracket. So we're about to get some real fun times up in here. Real fun times. But there's not really anywhere to put you guys to where you get a good angle. So I'm going to shove this up in there and clamp it. And we'll get back to you after I got that done. So I ran into another dilemma here, and that is, as you can see, the booster was up here, and I dropped it all the way down to here because the pedals would have been like, I mean, way up, way up. I dropped it there, and to be honest with you, the pedals are still way up. I mean, way up. I do not like that. Now, the only reason why I'm like not willing to drop it more, well, I will drop it more probably, but the thing is this, the further I drop this, the more fabrication I'm going to have to do to make it fit. Right now it won't even fit because it's not going to work. It's got this big hump here, the bolts are like down here, so there's going to have to be some fab work done for sure, but I can't go down too much more because the steering column's there. However, if I don't come down more, the pedals are just going to be way too high up, and I don't like it. And I don't know if we can find another pedal assembly that is higher, like a longer sweeping pedal assembly. It would have to be from a truck. But this pedal assembly right now, yeah, I mean, it should be, the tip of my toes don't even fit, just barely catch it. I mean, it's got to come down another 3 inches or so before I'm happy with it. It needs to be, you know, let's see here. I think it's got to come over too. I think it needs to come left. And it also needs, well, I mean, actually, I don't know. It ain't the baddest thing in the world. I'm 6'2", and the steering wheel's eating my gut, and the seat don't actually go back any further. If the seat went back a little bit more, another 2 inches, it probably wouldn't be such a problem. But right now, it's like you would have to really crunch your ankle just to hold it at like part throttle, because that's full throttle, and that's where I feel like it needs to be to feel comfortable. The brake pedal is pretty easy. I think actually when you hook it up, it'll be like right here. So I just think it's got to get dropped down more. That's all there is to it. I pulled the brake pedal assembly back out because here's the thing. When I mount that assembly in here and I clamped it in to where the pedals feel good, it was down here. I mean, the booster would have almost been sitting on top of the steering column. I didn't like that. I would like it to be up here. Like it to be close to up here somewhere. That gives us a lot more room. But the thing is this. The brake pedal, easy fix. It's made of steel. I can cut it. I can put a piece of steel in here, drop it down a good 2 inches, maybe even 3, depending on where I want to put it. No problem. The problem is the gas pedal is plastic. Can't do that. But what I can do, this bracket right here is pointless. I don't know what it was for. It ain't working for me. I'm going to cut it off. We don't need it. I'm going to drill out the spot welds on the back of this. Then what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to pull it down and weld it to the bottom right here of this bracket. I'll weld the top piece that runs across to the bottom of this bracket. And what that's going to do is drop it a good 2 inches. Okay, so that pushes our booster back up another 2 inches. The thing is if your car don't feel comfortable when you're sitting in it, you won't drive it. You'll regret it. You'll hate it. Excuse me. So, by dropping this down, pulling that up, one, it's going to clean up the firewall. It's going to make it look good because everything will be, you know, where it's pleasing to the eye. You know how when you look at, you know, hot rods and stuff and anything else, basically, the booster is up, basically. I just said basically a bunch of times. Sorry about that. So, when the booster's up, it looks cleaner, okay? If I can get the booster in this area, sort of between the two, it'll look a lot cleaner and pleasing to the eye. This is the crap I goes through in my mind. I'm just all the time like, man, if that's too far to one side, or the pedals are too high, or blah, 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 ain't looking like this, blah, blah, blah is looking like that. If it don't look good to me, I'm not going to want to do it for anybody else. So, again, this is a customer car. So the customer, I want to be, you know, the way I am. The way as it's got to look good, it's got to function good, it's got to be good. And it's kind of hard to do. Sometimes there isn't room for these things. Sometimes you have to modify and modify and modify before it's right. Now, all this stuff, i.e. the firewall, the brakes, the booster, has to be done before I can start doing the firewall redo, painting, you know, welding and everything on it. Because if I weld all that crap up, go to put the brake booster in and nothing fits right, you just wasted all of your time. So anyway, let's get back on this. Now you understand where I'm coming from as far as making things look right and pleasing to the eye. You know, okay, I understand nothing was like this factory, so it don't really matter, but it matters to me and you, because you're going to be like, that booster's way down, that booster's way over, you know, it's got to look right. Of course, right here is about the best spot, so they did drill it in a good spot, but at the same time, God, neighbor's always yelling, same time is where the pedal assembly is from a factory car, and really you can't really find adjustable pedals. You have to make it work, and that's what I'm going to do. Because I got steel, I've got a welder, and I ain't afraid of that. That ain't no big deal. But that's what I'm going to work on now, is cutting this pedal, or not cutting it off, drilling out the spot welds, moving it down, not worried about the brake as much because it's a cut and, you know, just put it wherever you want it. Got plenty of 1/4 inch steel, no big deal. This one needs to stay because it's the brake light switch, which I don't know what the factory brake light switch was like on this car. It might have not have been anything like this. So we'll have to figure that out later. But as for now, this bracket I don't need. It's garbage. Nothing's going to work for it, because the other one will literally come in, click into this hole, and the firewall will allow tension on it. So no big deal. God, I hate neighbors. But this one's got to stay until we figure out what it is, and, you know, depending on where the pedal lands, it might have to get cut and pulled back. So let's get busy drilling out these spot welds. I'll cut you guys on after I get everything the way I want it. So the throttle side of this looks like it's going to be pretty dang easy to do. I just cut this tab off this side. Stupid fucking neighbors. And I'm going to butt it like that. Make that edge real nice right there. Overlap this back and weld it, which is what I'm going to do right now. Just pop on the welder. By the way, if you're curious, Art Captain MiG 200, that's the welder I'm using. This thing is awesome. Blows my old Hobart out of the water. And unfortunately, my Everlast isn't a MiG. It's a TIG stick and plasma, and the plasma's broken. So I don't even use it anymore, which sucks, because I could really use a plasma sometimes. But let's weld this.
Anytime, I've got a lot to say, can't hold it in this time. Got no filter, I got no filter. 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 Hey man, can I get a favor? Yeah, sure, I know, see you later. Sometimes I just wanna be a hater. Gotta wash down the top 40s with a chaser. Your voice starts feeling like a waiter, scraping my mind against a cheese grater. Before you go, sir, you have to sign a waiver. That's alright, I'm aware of the danger. You wanna get away, you better get in line. Won't go another day of wasting any time. I've got a lot to say, can't hold it in this time. Got no filter, I got no filter. No filter, I got no filter. No filter.
Well, I dropped that bracket. Thought it was going to be about 2 inches, but man, it sure looks like it dropped it a ton more. That's good though. It's going to work. I got the fan cooling it right now where I welded, and I put a plate in there to help it strengthen up because there's nothing there now. But I think that's going to work, and we're not worried about the brake pedal because, again, that's just a simple cut. Add in a piece to drop it down to wherever it looks right with the pedal. Don't mind that. That's the blood out of the transmission of this 55, so we're not worried about that. That's a good thing. We can raise it up to where the gas pedal looks right, and we'll go from there. But I'm running out of time, so we're going to try to get this mocked back in there after it cools down, and that'll probably be about it for this week, or should I say this weekend. So I think I got it now about where it needs to be. It's a little cockeyed because, you know, it's kind of impossible to hold it and, you know, clamp it up there by myself. And I'm using a screwdriver and everything to pull it up high. But, yeah, sucks. So I think I got it where I need it. I looked in here. The pedal is in real good shape as far as the throttle pedal. Don't worry about the brake. The brake's going to come down when I weld on a new piece to it. So that is pretty much done for this week. Or shall I say this weekend. And I've got it marked with marker here to show where the box is, and everything else around it needs welded up. But I think it's going to look really, really good. And next weekend we will start with sanding, welding, getting the firewall ready to paint, and sanding. And I don't know if there's any real welding needs done. Maybe this over here, a couple of these screw holes, we'll weld them up just to make it cleaner. And then we will get all this ready to paint, as well as the core support. It's all got to be ready to paint. I wonder how cool it'd look if I paint the horns white. Just curious. I was just thinking to myself though. But this has still got the old school like wiring on it. As you can see, everything jumps, which was, I don't know why they did that. They must have just put it in there in 2 pieces, so that way they can wire the lights and run them through, and then, you know, just bolt them together. Because it's a straight connection. It's just right to each other. What, I don't know. Well, you can see on this one, they jump to this one, because that's how headlights work. They just jump from one side to the other. But I think a person could get like a newer style harness. Not like a car harness, you know, a newer style harness, but a newer reman harness that's like the fuse box, and whatever, what do they call it, 12 circuit harness or something like that. And wire these things up pretty easily the same way as you do everything else. And that could get rid of a lot of the junk you don't need, like the resistors and voltage regulators and all that crap, which I'm getting rid of anyway, except for this one. You can keep that one up there. Yeah, but I've got some work to do here. Before or after I get done welding everything, I'm going to pull it outside. I'm going to wash the fire out of it. Then we'll pull it back in. I'm going to run a tape line probably from right here. Well, the tops of the fenders, you know, and everything around. And then I'm probably going to pull this seal off and put my brake line, not my brake line like that, but my brake line, the paint brake line, right through here. So that way it's really not noticeable. I'll probably do it underneath this and then cut it back to here. Or I might cut it up to here to where it's not as noticeable. Or I might just do it up to here because I just noticed this is real rusty. I don't like that. But again, it's not going to have perfect paint, so I probably will just come to here and break it up to there, to where all this is going to get repainted. Same color as the car. White. I don't know what color white is. It's more of a bone than it is a white. Or it's just really dirty. So that could be possible. Yeah, but I'm going to find out this week if he wants to keep the wiper motor whole. If he does, I'll leave that. Everything else has got to go. I'm going to weld up the brake booster hole that's down under here. The pedal hole that's down right here. I'll plug them. And we're going to weld this up. All this around here where they drilled a bunch of holes. I don't know what this stuff is, but it's going to get welded up too. We got to watch it though because there's insulation in there. And it will catch fire very easily. Yep. This is the blower motor. That'll probably stay. I might make like a door for it. You know, something that'll sit on top of it. And when I paint it, and if he ever wants to take it back off, he can just pull it off. So that'd be something pretty nice. I don't know how far, as far as these go. Well, this one's already white. That one is black, but it probably was white. So I'll probably white them back out again. Black the wheel wells, of course, because you always black out that stuff. But these cars, you know, white, black, black, black. You know, I'll paint all that black. This will be white, and it'll look real good. The motor is going to be I think he said silver or gunmetal, so it'll look pretty good. For now, guys, thank you for watching this week's episode of Buddy Holly. It's not too bad. There's not enough hours in a day when you work a job and then you come home and work again. Not to mention car show season is still in effect for the next one show. Next weekend's the last show of the car show season, and it's done. Then I ain't got to do no more driving on weekends. It'll be literally all whatever projects in the garage. So let's lock it up, roll it up, do whatever you got to do, close it up, and I'll see you guys next weekend. But as always, like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment below. If you have any ideas that you think will work for anything I'm doing, let me know. I always like to hear other people's ideas. I always come up with some crazy stuff eventually, but I'm out for now. See you guys.